What is going on, everybody? Tonight, Flat Out back in the day with another video. This will be my second to last video on F1 2015, but I thought I would just record a short race and do a post commentary, I guess would be the right term. But we're going to talk about the F1 2016 season so far, and, well, what a mess it has been for Rosberg. So, Rosberg, as we pretty much all know, went on a winning streak, I think, from the last 3 or 4 races of the 2015 season. Like, Hamilton wrapped up the championship at my home Grand Prix of Austin in Texas. And then after that, Rosberg went on like a just absolute, I don't even know what do you want to call it, just went on a winning spree. I think he won, I'm trying to think of what number in the calendar the USA was. Like he won Mexico, Abu Dhabi, and everything in between, Brazil. Was it just the last 3? I thought there was 4. Either way, that's kind of beside the point. Went on a winning streak at the end of last season, and then this season, Lewis gets the pole at Australia. Cannot find my words today. Gets the pole at Melbourne. After Rosberg had spin and lost his front wing in practice, everybody thought, oh, Rosberg's form is over. He's already had a spin in practice. Hamilton's got the pole. As a Hamilton fan, I was kind of glad because I thought, okay, maybe Lewis has, come back with a fresh season and, got his momentum back up. However, that was not the case. Hamilton got very bad starts the first few races of the season. Rosberg ran away with the show, and we had a fight between the Ferraris and the Red Bulls while Hamilton tried to work his way up through the rest of the field. And that was kind of seemingly the story all the way up until we got to Monaco. And then Ricciardo just stole the whole show in qualifying, getting Red Bull's first pole of the season. And, he said in his words that it was his time. He thought it was his time to win a race, especially at Monaco, where, sometimes I think it has more to do with driver skill than car performance. But obviously, if you have both, like Mercedes seemingly have with both drivers, it probably helps, because even if, I really don't like Rosberg, or, I'm not the biggest fan of him, not just because I don't like the decisions that he makes sometimes, but I'm not going to deny that he's a good driver. Do I think he's a world champion driver? Maybe. I say he may get 1, maybe 2 in his entire career, if that. But I wouldn't be surprised if he gets 1 in the next few years if Mercedes are still on top. So I can't deny that he's a pretty good driver, even if whether or not I like him. But Hamilton, we all know the Monaco story. Hamilton got the win there because of Red Bull's pit stop because they didn't have the tires ready. So Hamilton moves around Ricciardo. There was a little controversial move coming out of the bus stop type chicane there at Monaco where it looked like Lewis was going to squeeze Ricciardo into the wall. Ricciardo had to check up. Thought Lewis did it on purpose. I don't really know. As a Hamilton fan, I always said, no, he didn't do that on purpose. What are you talking about? But I don't know. That one was actually kind of iffy. So we get out of there. We go to what was next? Canada. Hamilton and Rosberg clash in the first corner. Hamilton takes the win after Vettel leads a few laps, which was good to see from the Ferraris because everybody kind of waited for them to have a legitimate challenge for Mercedes. Seemingly, Vettel at least did at Canada, even though the Red Bull kind of beat him to the punch by getting the pole at Monaco. But Rosberg, had that problem in Canada, just never really got back up after that poor start where he got into Hamilton, or Hamilton got into him, really. And just kind of, I think, fought Verstappen at the end and ended up just making a mistake going into the final chicane there and spun the car around. I think ended up getting like P5 or something like that. And then we all know what happened a few races ago at Spain. So that was Red Bull's first win of the season as well. Kind of skipped over that. But, Red Bull's got to win. Everything else has either been Hamilton or Rosberg. I think Red Bull then had the only non-Mercedes pole of this season as well, I believe. So, very interesting show for Mercedes. Then we have, later on in the season, we have the crash and the controversy of what happened at Austria on the final lap. Did Rosberg turn in late, trying to force him off? Did Rosberg actually try to wreck him? Should Hamilton have tried a different move? Should he tried to cross over to the inside once he seen that Rosberg was out braking himself? A lot of different things that could have happened there, but either way, Hamilton got the win there, pulled off even more points on Rosberg, moved to Silverstone. Rosberg was having problems with the gearbox, I believe it was. Mercedes actually told him what to do so that he didn't damage the car further, and he got a penalty for that. And so while he got second in the race, demoted down to third. Hamilton dominated his home Grand Prix, even though there were times that it seemed like he was lacking off the pace. Personally, I think he could have been managing the gap, but I'm not really 100% sure about that. And then we end off this first half of the season going into the summer break at Germany. Rosberg dominates practice, pretty much dominates qualifying, gets pole his home Grand Prix. Everybody figured it would be his show, his race to lose. And what does he do? Gets another poor start and gets down to fourth. Tries to pull the same move on Verstappen that he tried to pull in Austria against Lewis, and going into that hairpin, and Verstappen was having none of it. Told his team, hey, got forced off the track. Stewards looked into it, gave Rosberg, I think a 5-second time penalty, which he took during his pit stop, which not only did he have the penalty from the pit stop, but then Mercedes waited like way too long on the pit stop. They waited like 8 or 9 seconds instead of 5 before they actually changed the tires and let him go. So that held him up even further. So that was Hamilton winning that Grand Prix with Ricciardo behind him and Verstappen rounding out the podium. And it was I thought that was pretty cool for Ricciardo, though, to podium and get second place in his 100th start. I think that was a pretty big accomplishment for him, probably hence why he decided to drink champagne out of his driving boot. So, a little look ahead into Spa. I'm kind of wondering if we're going to have another clash with the Mercedes like we did in 2014. Hamilton and Rosberg, obviously this rivalry is more intense than ever. The Ferraris seeming like they're going to fall behind even further. The Red Bulls seem like they're actually getting a lot closer to Mercedes, like they're starting to chomp at their heels. So I don't know what we're going to see for the rest of the season. Personally, I wouldn't be surprised if we see Red Bull coming in at the end of the season and getting a few race wins. I think Mercedes will probably shift their focus basically all the way to the 2017 car, just about. They might have a few small things to add on to the car this year. But I really think that Red Bull is still kind of innovating everything and looking into their car this year so that they can probably improve better next year. And so I think that they're probably going to make more progress at the end of this season than what a lot of the other teams are. Ferrari probably has just given up at this point and switched focus completely to the 2017 car. So I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised to see some of the midfield teams move up too. Like, it seems like Force India kind of had a good run at the beginning of the season. But that can change pretty easily. So let me know what you guys have thought of the 2016 season so far at the halfway break. F1 2016 is out this Friday. So even though you kind of have back to school depression, you don't want to go back, I'll go back on Thursday. I know how it feels. But either way, that game comes out, so we'll get a lot of stuff rolling with that, hopefully over the weekend and into next week. So yeah, let me know what you guys think of the season so far. This is No Doubt signing out, and I'll see you guys in the next video.